do you know your birth date and your name reveals a lot about who you are? Hi, I'm Heather.
Tell us a little bit about who you are and what it is that you do in your craft.
Okay, I've just studied the cards. I've studied numerology, astrology. It all goes together, and I've been doing readings for a lot of years. So, and I just keep studying and give people information.
And what's your favorite thing to study?
Oh, I'm not sure. It just, they're all combined. So you just feed off one from the other. You just keep learning. It all, helps each other. Like the numerology is in the cards, and some astrologers use it when they do the charts. So you just, I don't know. I like the numbers, but the astrology is interesting, but it's so complex. It's so hard to keep going at it because there's, houses and 360 degrees, and there's asteroids and moons and.
Yeah, I think it would be a lot. Well, I know you and I met through you having a psychic reading with me, and we were talking a lot about this, and it was just so fascinating. So I was like, oh, I want you to come on the show and talk about your craft. But then I introduced you to Heather, and Heather had a wonderful experience.
Yes, I did. I had a fabulous session with Sue. Sue, you were so articulate and detailed, and it answered a lot of questions to who I was through the various timelines in my life and to where I'm at now. So how exciting. I'm happy to be me. And then after the session with you, Sue, you followed up with sending copies on paper so that I could reread and understand better who I was as well through what you had explained to me. And so you just fabulous, and you're just amazing. And I really encourage people to follow up with you and learn more about themselves and their journey in this life.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. I like giving the information out. It's fun.
Yeah.
Once you know. Yeah.
So do you have some information to give us about the months that are coming up? Because these times are very trying, and, people are looking for some insight and maybe some, good news and good vibes coming our way. Do you have anything to share with us about the upcoming months that we're about to embark on?
Yes, we're going to get out of this mess.
Yay!
It's on its way. Okay. Now, Taurus and Scorpio, they're having the eclipses this year. Okay, and the eclipses are just amplified new moons and full moons. And it don't actually affect everyone, but you can feel the energy like everyone does. When there's a full moon, everybody can feel that energy coming. Mm-hmm. So when you do the new moon, it takes almost 6 months for that new moon to become full. So there's cycles in between cycles that happens, right? So when we have the new moon, it's going to be, the new moon in Scorpio is going to be full on May 16th. And that new moon started back in November 2021. But it wasn't an eclipse. It was just a new moon. So this full moon is going to be strong on May 16th. And two, it's because it's by the nodes of the moon, and Uranus is involved, and I don't want to go on all the details or anything like that, but just be aware coming the 16th, if an ordinary full moon bothers you, this one might be even a little bit more intense, especially if you're in Scorpio.
So what can they expect from the energy, or what some symptoms or some expectations, so they know what they're dealing with?
It's you just get your energy stronger, and it all depends on different people, because in your astrology chart you have all the degrees, right? So it depends where this full moon's going to be, if it's hitting something in your chart. But on a normal full moon, everybody can tell because everybody talks about it. Oh, there was a full moon, or I was crazy on the weekend, it was a full moon, or everybody was hyper on the weekend because it was a full moon. Yeah. Right. So it's just stronger energy around us. right? And then the moon is full on a new moon. It's bright. You can see all of it. Then it takes around 14 days and it'll go to a new moon again. And that's when the sky is black and you can't see the moon. And that's when you're supposed to start manifesting if you do all those rituals and that. So the new moon, it's dark and it's the beginning. And if you don't do your rituals right on the new moon, you can always wait till there's a crescent moon, because then there's a little bit of light. And then it goes up in about another 14 days, that will go full. So you go from like stirring the pot and thinking about what you're going to do and doing your manifesting and what, you know, if you do your wishes and all that kind of stuff, it takes almost 14 days for that energy to come bright. And then if it's not going your way, that's time to release it and let it go, because on full moons, usually you let stuff go. And I'm sorry, am I talking with my hands?
That's okay.
Okay, so do you understand that?
So I always thought that full moons were, when they were full, you were drawing things to you. Like it was a waxy moon and you were drawing things to you. Because I remember going to a stag and doe, and we were there with about 20 people, and I was telling them about what I had just read. And I was like, yeah, if you ask the moon to pay a certain bill, what you can do is the moon will give you the money to pay the bill. And I told them, you need to open your wallet and show the moon your empty wallet. And I'm walking into the building and I turn around and there's like 20 people standing there with the wallets wide open to the moon because it was a full moon. It was so funny to watch. I should have took a picture of it, but I always thought that though. I always thought it was about attracting things to you when the moon was full.
You know, that's just everybody's different take on it all. Right. Because the new moon, it's dark. That's when you start manifesting. The full moon is either going to come to, you know, the money's going to come or the money isn't. And then it starts to get weaker again. So from the new moon to the full moon, the energy just keeps getting stronger and stronger and stronger. Right. And then afterwards, by the time the full moon comes, if you haven't got what you figured you were going to get, it starts getting weaker. And then the new moon, you start new ideas and new manifesting again. So that works too, like what you said. It's good. But that's why some of them say that it's, you start letting go after the full moon, because it's as full as it's going to get. And then it's going to start to go dark again.
So does that have something to do with the ebbs and flows of things? Because all of a sudden, I've noticed within my own habits, I get a little complacent with things and I get kind of preoccupied to do other things. But then all of a sudden I'm like gung-ho and I'm getting creative and I gotta do this. And do you think that has something to do with the moon flows?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it does. And I probably won't word this right, but you know how our body is like 80 or 90% water? When they say the moon is full, all that ebbs and tides are coming towards us, right? It's coming closer to the earth and everything. And that's why we have more energy, because we've got all that fluid in our body and the fluid's coming towards us and we don't know what to do with it, right? And then that's why we get more energy. And
be conscious.
Yes. And then that too, that's it depends where it's placed in your chart, how it affects everybody, right? Sometimes the full moon will really be strong, and then the next time it isn't as strong for you because it's in a different place. I don't know. That's how they explain it, but that's the energy of the new moon and the full moon. That energy comes towards you at the full moon.
Yeah, Sue, just a question. Now, when there is the full moon and then the new moon, and it's when to do rituals, that type of thing, would we go outside to do these things, or
you know, for sure, wherever you want to do them. There's no rules to, you know, some people like being outside barefooted.
Yeah.
You know, that's how you get you grounding.
Ooh,
yeah.
naked.
So when you have a new moon, and when you have full moon, if you have crystals in that, they say to put the crystals out on a ledge outside when there's a full moon. And you could do that with a moon. Oh, do you? Mm-hmm. Put your crystals outside?
My little crystal ball right here. Can you see it, boy? I put it outside during a full moon and it absolutely charges. It comes in and you can see it. If you can scry, you can actually see the energy radiating off of it. If I need to give it a quick charge, I'll just throw it in the freezer, but a really good charge, I'll put it under the full moon.
Oh, wow. That's neat.
It works really well.
Oh, yeah. No,
Good.
I've
So-
never tried that, but I've read a lot about that.
So I think we talk about our months, and you had said before you wanted to talk about each individual month that's coming up. Can you talk a little bit about that? I was very curious about that.
Yeah, I'm not doing everything, just some main points every month. And then
Oh,
you
I see.
can
Okay.
kind of, you'll see how it all plays out by the end.
Perfect.
Okay. So if you go back to 2020, Pluto, Saturn, and Jupiter were all sitting in the sign of Capricorn. So if you have a Capricorn birthday, you've had pretty tough go the last 2 or 3 years, maybe, right? Depends on, but that's where all those planets were that were making the change. And Capricorn is can be a sign of government. Pluto is a sign of destruction. Saturn is a sign of structures. Jupiter's a sign of expansion. And those three were playing the last 3 years all together closely in the degrees. Okay, so in May, Venus, Mars, and Jupiter, they've all been in Pisces. So if you're a Pisces, right now you've had a lot of action going on. You know, when you have 3, 4, 5 planets in one sign, and when Jupiter, oh my God, Jupiter and Neptune went together, right? That's when everything kind of softened up for us this year. And that was last month. So it was like an active month, but those two, Neptune is, it's water, it's dreamy, it's illusion, delusion, music, art. And then Jupiter's expansion and faith and belief, and the two of them just come together. So it was like, and Pisces is their ruling sign. So they were both at home together. So that's how the astrologers say that everything kind of softened up. There's other stuff going on, but those are two big ones. So that was nice. And now Venus, Mars, and Jupiter, they've been in this water sign. They're headed over to Aries, and Aries is a fire sign. So that's going to get everything going, right? So you think of things in water, it's fluid and it flows and back and forth. But when you hit Aries, Aries is fire. It's the first sign of the zodiac. And it's the baby of the zodiac too. So it wants what it wants right away. So we're going from the planets being in a 12th house, a water house, the last house of the zodiac, into a fire house, the first house, and the baby of the zodiac. So see how we're going from the oldest to the new. So that's new, like that's fresh energy coming, which is nice.
So do things have to metaphorically kind of burn down before we can see that light, or is it more just going to gracefully ease into that?
Yeah, it'll just come because they're going to go back and forth. These planets don't sit still, right?
Right.
But you'll be able to feel it. There'll be more energy, right? Because the planets are starting to spread out. And then by the end of the month, have you heard of a Mercury retrograde? You know how everything goes, it was Mercury retrograde. So we're having a Mercury retrograde at the end of the month. So that's all communication, electronics, you know, anything that moves. It doesn't actually go reverse. It just slows down, right? And they say not to buy cars or vehicles and cars are the same thing. Yes, I know, or computerized stuff. But, you know, sometimes you have to do all this stuff and you don't sign papers and you don't do this. It's just that the energy is slow and you have to be very aware of what you're doing. It's not right or wrong. Just be aware of what you're doing because a lot of times you have to redo it, they say, when Mercury is retrograde. Okay, I kind of watch it, but I don't know.
Interesting.
And Mars, when it moves over to Aries, Mars is like a warrior. Aries is the warrior. That's its home sign. So our energy should be getting going, right? When Mars, because Mars is aggressive. Mars likes to move. Mars is the masculine sign. Aries is the first sign. It's the baby. It wants everything now. So that aggressive energy is there. So we're going to have that. We're going to have that power to move forward in whatever we're doing.
So for all our single women watchers looking for a masculine, then that maybe is a good time to do that.
Yes, yes, it's the beginning.
Good.
Yeah, and too, Venus is going in there. Venus is love and money and femininity and all that kind of stuff, right? Because men are from Mars, women are from Venus.
Yeah.
So, and it's going to be in Aries too. So see how it's been in water and the last sign, and like it's just kind of getting going, and now all of a sudden it's going to plop into fire sign. So yes, things will be good. Things will get
We're going to come out of this then. You can see in the charts that we're coming out of this a whole sort of past 3 years of whatever's been going on in the world and the energy that has been created, which in my mind was constructed. And maybe because they knew the astrology and the numerology and the gematria of things, they were able to create such a mess. It seems like there was just such a high intense energy, and you know, I could talk forever about this, but maybe they knew and they understood astrology and numerology and were able to create this almost as a false flag in some way.
Oh yes, it depends who's the head of the band, right? What goes on and what they study, and like I study all this stuff, and it's like I don't think I'm psychic or anything. Anybody could study it. So if there's people in power that are studying or having astrology readings and knowing what's going on, the energy that we have around it, they could create, just like anything else. They can create whatever you know they want. I've listened to a lot of astrology videos, and they go on about the United States having their Pluto returned. So that's why United States is restructuring, and everybody follows what the states are doing, and you know, so it's a big time down there for them now.
Well,
so
makes sense.
You know, yeah.
And it's, in a way it makes sense, and I mean it is affecting everybody, but it makes sense that everybody's kind of looking at the states as well. So that's interesting that it's in Pluto. And you said again, remind us what Pluto is.
Pluto is destruction. It goes right underneath everything. Like it's right in the middle of the United States, just lifting everything up and turning it around, and you know, so it's kind of neat.
That's what they say. They say this is biblical. So if it's so biblical, then it has something to do with, you know, the whole world, the stars, how the heavens align. It's all part of it, how gematria comes together, how numerology comes together, how all of it sort of merges into one timeline in some way. But please continue with your months and what's going on with that. Go ahead.
So June, we got Gemini. It's the sun will be in Gemini. They get the new moon. So if you have a Gemini birthday, like it's good. Your sun's back. You have like a solar return. But 5 of the planets are going to be in their home sign. So June should be a nice month. You know what I mean? So if you have 5 planets out there in somebody else's area, you know, opposing and squaring and all this kind of stuff, how they do it. If they all go back home, the energy should be good. That's what I'm thinking anyway. That's the one good thing about June, is all those planets will be back where they're supposed to be. And then they start moving. So then July, the energy is going to slow down, but we're going to have surprises. Mars is going to go into Taurus. So Mars is only going to stay in Aries not too long, and then it goes into Taurus. It'll slow down at Taurus because Taurus is an earth sign. So as it moves around Jupiter, expansion, our faith, our belief is going to go reverse. So that's going to slow us down. And then Mars is going to come up against Uranus. And Uranus has been in Taurus for the last year. And Uranus is a rebel. And it's in an earth sign. So sometimes it's not, you know, it's taking more time because it's in a fixed sign for it to make the changes. And Mars is the planet of aggression, male energy. It's going to hit this rebel. And the Uranus likes the future too. It's more future oriented. The two of them are going to butt heads. So it's going to be slow energy, but there's going to be something coming that we probably don't expect. Nothing bad, nothing like that. But you know what I mean?
It's revealed, truth revealed in some way, or truths that we didn't know, or something along those lines, I would predict.
Yes, probably something like that.
That's what I feel like.
Yeah, it's on its way. Everything is on its way, right?
Yeah.
And then comes August. Now, August is like the jack in the box. So in numerology, if you take August as the 8th month and 2022 is our year, you get 14. 2022 plus 8 is 14, and you add the 1 and 4 together is a 5. So when you look at the 5 starts one way and comes across down and ends up the other way. So the energy is going both ways. It's going from the past to the future, from the future to the past. It's going back and forth. It wants to be free. It's a Mercury number. It's an air number. So it's moving. It likes the media. 5 is a media number. So we should hear a lot in August, maybe. Right. I don't like to say predicting because I don't know if I could do it or not. But 8 is the 5. The 5 is like, who knows what's going to be said, right? The jack in the box. It likes to move. Now, the Lion's Gate is in August also. That 8-8, the Lion's Gate. Have you heard of that?
I have.
Yeah. So that's good, strong energy. The sun's in Leo, and around August 8th, every year, the sun aligns with one of the second strongest stars. So it's bright. We get that more intense energy in August, and it's hot in August, and it's bright in August. And now we got 5 in August this year. So there should be a lot of movement going on in August. And Mars is going to go into Gemini in August. And when you come to planets in Gemini, there's 2. Gemini is the twins. So it's like this masculine energy is going to be twice your words. Gemini is air, your words. So there's going to be a lot of words coming within ourselves, within our groups, and probably the government and all that. There should be a lot of awareness, a lot of light brought out.
Nothing ever hidden can stay hidden for very long. Everything comes to light eventually.
And that's our brightest month with that Lion's Gate on August 8th. Yeah. And then in September, Mercury's going to go retrograde again. So it's like, watch your words, watch what you're doing, which isn't bad. We have Mercury retrograde 3-4 times a year. So it's like when you hear that there's a Mercury retrograde, you should just make sure you're watching what you're doing because the words get mixed up. So that was August, September. Yeah. So August will probably be the
hot month, literally.
Yep. Yes, in all ways. Yeah. Okay, October, the energy is going to be all over. We got an eclipse in Scorpio, and that will be deep. Mars is going to be reversed in Gemini. So that's going to make the words and the energy slow down, right? Because Mars is masculine and it's on the go, and Gemini, there's two different ways we can go, and now it's slowing down, going backwards. So who knows what way it's going to go. By the 1st of November, we're having another full moon eclipse. So see how this energy is going all over the place. The moons are going to be in fixed signs, so they're not going to want to change. The moons are going to say, let's change. The energy is going to say, no, we're not. And then to top it off, last year, Saturn is like the teacher. It likes to make the boundaries and the limitations and say the way things are going to go. In 2021, it was squared with Uranus in Taurus, and Uranus wants change and to move forward. Uranus is the rebel, Saturn is the teacher. So they made this square. It was like the last one was just before Christmas last year. So that, like up before Christmas, you know, that energy could have kept getting tenser and tenser. I don't pay attention to it because it was always all tense, right? Last year. In this October, that's going to become square again, Saturn and Uranus, for the last time. So we've had the last 2-3 years, we've had this going square. So there was 4 Saturn Uranus squares. So finally we're coming to the end of them. It'll be this October. And they're both in fixed signs. So it's like nobody wants to give. It's like Mercury's going back and forth in 2 different ways and don't know what the heck's going on. And then the square is coming in October and nobody wants to give in. But the words are going to be going because the Gemini, the Mars in Gemini, but it's going backwards because Mars is slowing down.
Battle between good and evil.
Yep. Oh yeah, for sure. And then November will be deep because November is an 11. The 11th month is 2 and 2022. So 6 and 2 is 8. 8 is the number of power, repetition, unlimited possibilities. 8 likes to be the boss. So November, we should have a lot of our strength back by November, right? It's like we're going to be all year. We're going through, all the planets are starting to separate after this last couple of years. So it'd be good. The sun will be in Scorpio, and November 23rd, it'll be move time because Gemini will be back in Pisces. Because remember back, I said Jupiter. Jupiter was going to start going reverse. So Jupiter has went into Aries, and now it's come back to Pisces. Pisces, the last sign, the oldest sign. Jupiter is expansive. It's going to start moving forward, and it ain't going back into Pisces. And that's when it's even going to bring more separation between the Pluto and the Saturn from the beginning of 2021. It's not going to be completely far enough away, but it's on the move, and it's going to go into Aries, and it's going to keep on going.
What does that mean for everybody?
Yes. So the end of November, when Jupiter gets moving, everything's going to start to change, and it's not going to go back to Pisces, because remember, when you're in Pisces, you're in that fluid. When it gets back into Aries and gets going for a year, it's in fire. Jupiter will be in fire for almost a year. So it's been in Pisces for a year. So it's been pretty close to a year. So it's been in the water, floating around, trying to get bigger. And you know, it's like an air bubble. You know, it's trying to expand, but you got all this water. But when it gets into fire, it's going to start moving because fire gets bigger when the air is to it. And then December. So December is a 3. Are you still getting everything I'm saying? It's okay?
Absolutely. Yes. Keep going.
Okay. So December is a 3. So the 12th month, 1 and 2 is 3. 2022 is a 6. 3 and 6 is 9. 3, 6, and 9 in numerology are compatible numbers. So we get to November, or we get to December, it's a 9 universal month. So 3 is creative, 3 likes to talk. You're going to add that to 6. 6 is our universal year, the caretaker, the bridge, and it's going to be a 9-month. It is compassion through understanding. It's humanitarianism. It's everyone. So, you know, 6 is 2022. 6 takes care of its family and its close friends and its close associates. The 9 takes care of the world. And 3 is twice in 6 and 3 times in 9. So December should be the month, right? Because, and 2, it's a 9-month. It's the end of the year. So that 9 is like we're letting go with understanding and compassion. It's the end of the month. We're going into a new year next year. We've been 3 years into this. And then on the 19th, the sun will align with the galactic center. And it's the black hole in our galaxy that takes us to the Milky Way. And that is when we get our spiritual downloads, our awakenings, our insights.
So I'd like everybody to remember to stay very grounded, do your meditations, eat good, be with family, laugh and love, do all of those things, because when energy is that intense and you're not really into this, you kind of are interested, but a lot of people don't always understand the energies that they're feeling. So just remember at that time to stay very grounded and very centered and, you know, knowing yourself.
Yes, because that'll be the time where we get that. The end, what did I say here? December 19th, and that August 8th. Those times throughout the year, that's when we get a lot of energy thrown at us and we don't know what it is. And that's when we get our information a lot of the times that we have to use our intuition with.
Like a puzzle. Put it together as a puzzle piece. You're not going to get all of the information in one download. You're going to get little pieces of the puzzle and you can put it together. So be patient with it.
So in 20, I'm just going to finish it up now this way. It'll be easy. 2021 was the Jack in the Box. It was a 5 universal year, right? So it was the energy started one way, ended up the other. Didn't know what was going to happen. And it was in the Chinese zodiac. It was the year of the ox. So the ox is slow and does its thing, and you know, it doesn't really bother you. But that 5 energy was all over the place, poking at the bowl, you know. 2022 is like the bridge from the chaos of 2021 to 2023 will be a 7-year. That's a more peaceful year. So right now we're at the bridge. 6 is the number of Venus. Venus is love, money, femininity. It's the female. Mars is the male, right? It's caring energy. So right now we're in caring energy. And in the Chinese zodiac, we're in the year of the tiger. The tiger kind of does its own thing, but it pounces sometimes a little bit too fast. And that, I think, is going to be when that Mars and Uranus hits up together and there's certain spots. I think that's when that tiger is going to kind of unload when it shouldn't be, but we'll have to see. But so far, the tiger has lots of energy. So that's what we're in this year. We're trying to go down the middle path. If you look at the playing cards for the number 6, there's 3 on each side and nothing through the middle. It's like this year we're trying to go through the middle because last year everything was all over the place with the 5, the energy going. So now we're going down through the middle. For 2023, it's going to be a 7-year. 7 is the number of spirit. It's nature, it's peace, it's the Zen-like, it's healing. It's a water year. And we're going into, in the Chinese zodiac, we'll be into a rabbit year. So we're going from an ox and a tiger into a rabbit year. The rabbits are kind and soft. They hide their confidence and their strength. So right now it's like just coast through this year. We're going to be fine. We're getting through it. We really are, with the astrology and the numbers, how they go, right? And then 2024 is going to be the dragon year, and the dragon is mystical and magical. So we're getting through it.
Well, I can't wait to talk about that. Is there anything you'd like to close out with, Heather?
Yes, actually, the card that jumped, okay, actually there was two cards. So let me read the first one. It's embracing the future. I step into the future with an open heart. And so that's what we get to do. And then simplifying your life. I cherish the simple pleasures of life. So you can take that and run with it. And that, yeah, just fabulous, Sue. Just really fabulous. We definitely have something to look forward to. And with the eclipse that's going on from now to the 15th or the 16th of May, there's a lot of wonderful things that we can do. Is that correct, Sue?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, don't worry about the eclipses when they say the eclipses are coming, or Mercury retrograde, or all that kind of stuff. It's just energy. But just be aware of your new moon and full moons, right? That's when the energy gets us, you know. And the same with the police and the hospital. They all say that it's busier that time, you know, when there's a full moon. So just watch your energy and be aware of why you're feeling or what you're feeling. And then, you know, go from there.
That's wonderful, Sue. So how can people get a hold of you the best way if they would like to sit down and have a session with you?
Okay, I've got a website. It's suenadeau.com or snadeau6@yahoo.com.
Great, perfect. Sue, it's been fantastic. We would love to have you back on All Things Energy to talk more about, you know, the stars aligning and planets aligning, and maybe we can get your take on numerology next time as well, because I mean that's such a hot topic for everybody. So we would love to have you back, but again, so great to meet you.
Thank you. It's been fun.
Good, good.
Thank you, Sue. Thank you. Wonderful.
Bye all. Thank you. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we would love to have you. And of course, comment at the bottom if there's anything that you would like us to talk about that we haven't talked about so far. We have a number of videos, but if we're not hitting the subjects that you're interested in, leave us a comment and we will do our best. Okay. Have a great day, everyone. See you next time.